Hi, my name is Rebecca Velasquez.
My name is Melanie McCammon.
And this is Black, Brown, Broadway.
Today, we're going to get real. We're going to talk about this industry that we chose to become a part of.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know why we did that.
I know, we're crazy.
Yeah, like an actor. Cool, let's talk.
Let's talk. Let's get real.
You're watching B.B.B.
Let's talk.
Okay.
We're friends by now, right?
Yeah.
I think we're cool.
The audience knows us.
Yeah, like, assuming that we now have established an audience of people who are watching us.
Yeah, more than our parents.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Let's talk about how we fit in the industry. I'm going to be so real with you. To be a working actor means that you work maybe like once or twice a year. Like,
If that.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Like the last thing that I did like professionally was in 2022. I did New York Theater Festival in a musical. It won Best Musical. So I have accolades to my name. But like that's like the last thing that I've done professionally. Not that I haven't been auditioning and like actively wanting to do things, but I still count as a working actor, but
I am also in the same boat. The thing I did after graduating college in 2022 was a show at New York Theater Festival that was directed by my friend. So, I mean, it was easy to get a part.
Yeah, I saw her in that. She was really good in that.
And also, I saw hers. It was very funny, and she was great.
Thank you.
Wonderful musical theater performer.
It was good.
It was my first time seeing her, like, sing, actually, because she's a beautiful voice. I'm like, oh, okay, like, she, like, legit, like, okay, I see where you are.
Oh, my God. That's kind of the plot twist to me is that no one knows I can sing.
No.
Yeah, like, so our last job was, like, it's been over, like, 2 years for me for a professional job, over a year for you. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about what auditioning is like. I'm going to also just preface this by saying there is nothing wrong with having the dream of wanting to be an actor, but that we would like to recontextualize it in the reality of what it actually is to be an actor, especially an actor who wants to move to New York. Like, it's not always like, why did I want to do the NYC?
Just
Got here this morning. Whatever, but Annie. But like basically I just got here and like, oh great, someone immediately just books me for a job. Like, no babe. Yeah. Not only does it not happen like that, but if anyone looks at you and is like, hey, you want to be in this play? Don't go. You're either being sex trafficked or it's not a good play. I just don't do that.
Which one is worse?
I think the sex trafficking
is
is definitely worse than a bad play. But a bad play is honestly like you like sometimes in the reality is that sometimes you do plays because you're like, this will be great for me. And not only does it not do anything for you, but now you have emotional trauma. Like that's kind of the thing is it's kind of hard to be a working actor when you don't have enough practice. Like if no one hires you to do anything, when you get into those rooms, it's kind of hard to navigate.
I graduated 2020 from a school with my associates, and then I graduated in 2022 from a school with my bachelor's degree. And I have been having a really shitty 2 years. Haven't gotten to a lot of auditions. I've submitted the occasional self-tape, but like not much.
I got an agent last March, and it was a really exciting thing for me because I was like, yay, I don't have to struggle through Actors Access, and I don't have to pay for Backstage. I know everyone tells you to pay for that, but like like Backstage is currently just full of a lot of student films from NYU.
Yeah.
Like it's not it is a resource to be used, but like for me, I just was like, I didn't want to pay for it. So I was really excited about having an agent. And then, of course, 2 or 3 months later, the strikes happened. And when I say strikes, I mean like for the TV and film. And I really didn't think that was going to affect my theater auditions that much. But like he basically just stopped sending me stuff. He, long story short, he dropped me this January because he was like, you're not booking anything. And I was like, well, you didn't send me anything because of the strikes. And then when you did send me things, no, I didn't book them. But I just didn't realize I had a year cutoff. Honestly, I said it to him and I'll say it to you out there. If you don't believe in me, that's fine. I believe in me. I believe in my longevity. I believed in my art. I believe in my craft. And I just really believe in myself. So if you don't want to represent me, that's fine. You are free to go. And he was like, that's very mature of you. And I was like, okay, goodbye. Like I guess he just expected me, but please don't drop me. Please. I want to play nurse number 4 on ER, please. And I didn't. So I will say the auditions that he sent me, they were all self-tapes. He sent me on one in-person audition. And it was at like 9:30. I was really excited. It was 9:30 in the morning. It was at Pearl Studios. I got up. I was like, fine. And that was last, maybe April. I was like really pumped up about that experience. And it was the only one that he sent me on in like an 8 to 9 month span. Like all of them are self-tapes now. Don't let anyone fool you. If you're doing an in-person audition, somehow you hopped in a time machine and you're in 2019. They're all self-tapes. And I think that really kind of robs us as actors of it really helps to be in the room.
I fucking hate self-tapes. I hate I don't think, maybe I wouldn't have studied to become an actor if I realized that the majority of what I'm going to be doing after graduation is just self-tapes.
I can be a film actor, but I was trained to be a theater actor.
Exactly.
I need to be in your face so you can be like, whoa, I just really feel whatever she's giving me. Like energy is important. And there's no energy that can happen when you're looking at me on a laptop and you already don't want to be looking at me because, very summer in Ohio, you've been looking at like 800 girls.
First of all, we should be paid for them because we are the cinematographer, we are the editors, we are
the talent.
Like I have to do everything. And I don't want to do everything. I don't know how to do that. I'm using iMovie. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I personally think that we should at least get even if they send the email to everyone, we should get a fucking automated email about thank you so much. It's been cast. Yeah. It's been cast. Thank you so much for sending us a video. Just a simple fucking acknowledgement.
I don't want to have to get in my head about it. I really kind of liked in my one in-person audition, I did it, I left, I didn't get it. Yes. And I can let it go.
It was never that hard to let go.
It's harder to let go now because now I have time. Now I can sit in a self-tape studio and I can just keep going and going and going, and it's not really getting any better. I'm gaslighting myself the whole time. And then when I send it off, whoever the powers may be that I have sent it to don't even have the decency enough to tell me no. It's just kind of like, it's just like I was vulnerable. I sent a piece of myself off. They what are you doing with that video of me? I want you to give it back now. Another thing that self-tape has taken from us is and of course, I can only hear stories from our elders. I have no real experience in this. But if you went into a room and you made an impression, but you weren't right for that role, that's fine. But then they would remember you.
Yes.
They would remember you, and it meant that you could be called back in for something like, hey, you didn't work for this, but let's bring you in for this. If I'm just sending you videos, you don't remember what I look like. You don't remember my name. You you don't remember any of those things because I didn't make an impression on you. And not that I didn't make an impression on you because I am
amazing.
I am amazing, yes. But self-tapes have you feeling like you're very unimpressive. Self-tapes are kind of a dehumanizing experience.
I would 100% agree with you.
We both watched the other two.
Yes.
If you haven't watched the other two,
go watch that.
If you haven't watched the other two, it really is it's a good way to look into the industry in a way that it's all jokes, but no one's joking. We're being so serious. But that episode where he's he has to redo that self-tape and his agent is like, yeah, they didn't believe he was this, so he's buying props. Like, he sneaks into the Met to steal a suit of armor.
Yeah.
And like, you know, because they just didn't believe him. They're like, you know, casting people, like, if you don't just show them, they can't see it. And it's like, if I can be delusional enough to think that I am, you know, if I can be delusional enough to think that I'm acting on a veranda, if I am like literally operating on a human being below me, a casting agent needs to be delusional enough to see, you know, have a vision for me.
Exactly.
If I can have a vision for it, you have one for me.
I've always felt that as an actor, for me personally, I need to be in the room for you to understand me as a person and an actor, because I'm weird, I'm quirky, I mean,
you look great.
Well, thank you. But I always, because of certain things, certain acting teachers told me growing up, I always felt that I didn't have the face for camera.
I'm also going to say this directly to every bitch-ass theater teacher she ever had. How dare you side relief character? Rebecca is not. Rebecca is a leading lady, and I have actually spent years undoing all of your harmful work. Like, all of her bitch-ass teachers, I have spent years undoing all of your harmful rhetoric. So this really just goes to any theater teacher and any actor who feels like you are being typecast. None of that shit matters. It doesn't matter. You are what matters. If you can see yourself as something, you are.
Yes.
You don't have to be a character. If you're good at character acting, go off.
Yeah.
Slay, queen. But if you would also like to do other shit, do it. And don't let I won't even say a retired actor, a failed wannabe, didn't even try hard enough, talk to you that way or treat you that way.
If you're fed up with being typecast, all throughout my high school, middle school and high school, I was just really only cast as the funny old lady. And that hurts your spirit. Because, like, I auditioned for everything. But no, I was the funny old lady. And I was literally, I have to say, it wasn't until you to say, you don't always have to be that. You don't always have to be no one else has told me, like, I just thought for me to be noticed, I got to do what people think I'm good at.
I think that's bullshit. But I've always said that to you. But, like, as even though I'm saying it to you, and you know I love you, and you know I care about you, it's hard to undo years of what other people are saying, and when they are also saying the same thing. But, like, just because some people say the same thing and they mean it with their full chest, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What does that mean? All those people who are saying all those things to you, do they live in New York?
No.
Are they going to grad school in London?
No.
Are they hot?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
stop. Oh my God, stop.
I love you, and I always pour that into you because I want you to know it, and she's learning. We're all learning. But that's kind of what we have to say about auditions and, like, self-tape and just, like, those experiences. Like, don't let them dictate who you are. It has been hell out here since Hollywood or Broadway just decided that self-tapes were the standard. And I get it from a health standpoint of the separation between the artist and the art and, you know, not wanting to get sick, but you guys allowed unmasking in the theaters.
Oh!
They had the excuse that it was to help stop the spread of COVID. But you dropped mask mandates. You don't require performers or the audience to show vaccination or to get tested. So stop lying. You really don't actually care about the health and the safety of performers or actors. Most of you are probably just really antisocial. And if you're antisocial, this is not the industry. That's not it. To be an actor is to know people, to love people, to understand people. And it's auditioning. Is it like we're in the studio for a reason. There is no other way to prove or to get to talk about it. I'm tired of, like, we don't talk about this. Rebecca and I talk about this all the time because we are directly feeling it.
Yeah.
And the dream is still there, but it looks drastically different than, you know, this ain't Glee. This ain't Glee, okay? I ain't Kurt Hummel and I'm not Leah Michele.
No.
And I can't just hop on you gotta have roots before branches. Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about the shit pay we're offered as actors, especially non-union actors. We're going to just talk about non-union. We don't have the experience of union pay. That's also shit.
Yeah, let's talk about what is currently being offered to us peasants at the bottom.
Boo. Yes. So I know scrolling through playbill.com for jobs or scrolling through Actors Access, you can look and you see, oh, here's this musical at bumfuck middle of nowhere. We're going to offer you $300 a week.
I'm sorry. Who the hell is living off of $300 a week?
Wait.
Absolutely.
Hi, Boubakar, producer here. Just speaking from experience, just when it comes to pay, the most I've ever been paid.
Wait.
Can we see?
Yeah.
That way.
There.
The most I've ever been paid for a production, I think, was $250, and that was a stipend after 4 weeks rehearsal and 4 performances. I've been paid. Yeah, I think the best I've ever been paid was for like a student film. And that was because I worked 2 days. That was $200. I one time did a reading for a festival, and we got $50 for that. Yeah, what I'm saying all this to say is the people who produce the theater that I'm actually able to get in and perform in don't have that much money. So they're doing their best to pay me anything. And so that's how you end up with like a $250 stipend, which I don't know if we're allowed to say this on the show, but that's weed money. That's not that might be my groceries. That's not my rent. That's not paying for anybody's medical bill. So it's one of the working actor life is just you get paid scraps for actually a lot of time and effort because you're singing, you're dancing, you're learning lines, all that shit, plus the performances. Where the real money comes in is your minimum wage job. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
For a performance that's taking place in Staten Island for Shakespeare, they have 8 performances. Not even to mention rehearsal. They have 8 performances in October. Not to mention that rehearsals start in September. But the pay is $100 per gig. So that means that you make $800, and then for rehearsal, they are paying $200 a week.
That's good. And that's not good, but that's good.
It's better than most, but the reality is because we live in this city, if you're an actor who lives in New York, you're probably like, "Oh, Staten Island, like I could totally make that commute." You could, but you also have to be in mind. We all have jobs. I'm actually the only one currently with a job.
Because my bitch employer fired me.
Yeah, a fucking ableist fired her.
Yes.
But I'm the only person with a full-time job. I can't afford to be an actor. I am. We all love it. But you have to mention the headshots. You're supposed to stay up to date with your acting classes. I have to commute to Staten Island. I'm not going to Staten Island. They don't want me over there. But, it's really fucked up that they have made it where this is not an industry that you can live in. Pay artists. Nobody wants to pay artists anymore.
I did a show at the St. Louis Fringe Festival summer of 2019, and I remember we got a $70 stipend at the end for over like 5 weeks of rehearsal, 3 performances, and actually like our director decided he didn't want to be paid because he wanted all of us to be paid, which was very nice. Like, we got like revenue from the tickets that we sold after, and I remember that didn't even cover the speeding ticket I had to pay.
Oh shit. What the fuck? Where'd you get a speeding ticket for? You were late to rehearsal.
No, I was coming home from work, and I had...
Look, a consequence of capitalism is you will make pennies, and as soon as you have those pennies in your grasp, capitalism will find some way to just take them from you. It's a ticket. It's a medical bill. Mm-hmm. It's a problem. It's just like...
My minimum wage job in Missouri in 2019 maybe paid like $8 an hour.
Yeah, the pay is crap. And I don't want anyone to think that that's like unique to New York because it isn't. Mm-mm. Like, dear God, if you look at some of what these regional theaters are offering human beings to live off of, and they expect you to relocate. You must relocate. They may pay for your housing. They may not. Meals, starve. Like, it just, like, the system is broken. Mm-hmm. We come to you, not live, but relatively, because the system is broken. And, like, we got to do something. And it's not our black and brown asses that must do something because I didn't break it in the first place. You know, it's just heartbreaking. We shouldn't have to do this to just perform. We shouldn't have to live like this. And it's not just our industry. I will also say that. It's not just performers who are living like this. It's across multiple industries within this country. Everyone is struggling, and it's because the powers that be. They just said they're going to pay. How much is Tony Stark getting paid to reprise?
Over $80 million.
$80 million. Like, how about instead of $80 million to one person, how about you give $10 million to theater companies, to regional theaters, you know, Broadway actors, so that we can create our own things, so that we can be supported in this lifestyle, and that we don't have to quit. Because the reality is there are so many of us who have to leave this industry, not by choice. They are forced out. It's income inequality, opportunity inequality. You know, it's just, the system's broken.
Tired? Confused? Bored? This show sucks, doesn't it? You might think it's time to walk out. But wait, got just the thing for you. Do you want it? Are you sure? Perfect! Open your hand. Introducing Gaslight. Can you feel it? It's getting better. You're there. Turn your theater experience from bad to fantastic. Gaslight for theater.
Gaslight is not FDA approved. Absolutely no doctors involved in the process of making this product. Potential side effects may include hallucinations, dizziness, nausea, memory loss, increased sensitivity to sound and light.
So I, like many people in their mid-20s who have no projection of what they want to do in their lives, I decided to audition for grad school, which I'm going to get my MFA at Guildford School of Acting. Yes.
Yes. We're so proud of her.
Yes.
We are so proud of her.
Thank
We
you.
really are.
My specific, I went to audition for the URTAs, which is like the Unifieds. If you know, you know. But the URTAs was, they have it in Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and Chicago. And it's, you audition for like 50 schools at once. And that was when I came up with Guildford School of Acting. And I just had such a great time. I was so anxious. I met some great people. And then I had a like 4 or 5 hour callback process with Guildford that Monday where I had to dance, which I was horrible. But you know what? One of the people told me that they liked that I had a good attitude about it. And then we did this like check-off exercise, and I got to work on my monologue through that. And it was so great. And I think I did my monologue the best I've ever done it. And, you know, I think if you're like me and you are going to take out student loans and you don't mind being in debt, because I'm waiting for the collapse of the U.S. empire. It's going to happen, and I'm not going to have to pay back my debt.
Joe Biden said he got me, and Kamala, you better fix it. Honestly, currently, Joe Biden has all the power in the world. So you promised me 4 years ago, and you're used to lying to my parents, but you're not used to lying to me. So you will take care of that immediately.
Yeah. So, yeah, Joe Biden. I was expecting my debt to be erased, and it's not. So I have my undergrad debt still. Just gonna add on to that. But I also got like some really fucking weird medical diagnosis where I don't know how long I'm gonna live. So you know what? I'm gonna go and travel Europe and be an actor and spend money and just have a fun rest of my 20s.
She deserves this so much, and we're so happy for her. We're so proud of her. She's leaving me here, but that's okay because. As an actor, you have to make a choice for yourself. What does your career look like? Don't wait on a school. Don't wait on an agent. Don't wait on a teacher. Don't wait on any institution to tell you what your career looks like. You have to decide. Rebecca's going to grad school, and while she goes to grad school, I will remain here working on Black, Brown, Broadway because it's what I'd like to do. I'm also working on and producing my own original content, shows that I've written. Your path is different, but it is a path that you can still choose. If you what do they say? If you're in line, stay in line. Because
yes,
if you're in line, stay in line. But make those decisions for yourself. Do not let this industry tell you what to do with your life. You must decide. You must decide. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today, we are going to be interviewing our parents.
Yay.
My mother.
Glasses on or
Love
off?
her.
Glasses on, I think.
Okay.
My dad. My stomach is.
Look like mine, huh?
We twin.
Whatever.
We
fuck.
twinning them.
You, Chesterfield.
Hugh Chesterfield.
You are a large personality. You get that from your father.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I have to give a special shout out. We have a white person on our show. See? We like white people too. Every day, the box office sets aside a certain number of tickets that they will sell that are going to be a lot cheaper than your average Broadway ticket. There are no Broadway shows on Mondays, but Tuesdays through Saturdays, the box office opens at 10, and Sundays, the box office opens at 12. You're going to want to get there early so you can get a good seat.
It is a digital, phone, or computer lottery for a chance to win tickets. It's cheap, it's convenient, you really can't go wrong. There are websites as well as apps that are available to you to find these lotteries.
These are the shows that currently offer rush or standing room tickets.
Shows that have a current digital lottery.
Previously on.
We're doing the show called Bermuda Love, and we're all on this cruise, and we get stuck in the Bermuda Triangle, and then there's a love triangle.
We've been rehearsing for 3 to 4 weeks, and yesterday was our first day in the theater. I can't believe the show opens in 2 weeks.
The rehearsal room seems a little tense to me.
So fucking unprofessional.
There's some beef that I don't know about. You're a fucking snob.
I hate you so much.
I don't know if you've noticed, but my cast hates each other. But I think we'll be fine. Cop!
Okay, do you notice how Lisa and Priscilla are never in the same room?
Yo.
Coming soon.